Hi, welcome to Learn Online. I am Praveen Jadhav. This set will be the third mock set of your TCS Ninja paper analysis. Guys, this course is made available to you for free. And please spread the word, and also do not forget to drop your comments in the comment sections and subscribe to our channel. You can also join our WhatsApp group, for which the link is provided in the description. Let's take up our first question in the mock test paper 3. So the question goes something like this. It says, in how many ways a team of 11 must be selected from a team of 5 men and 11 women, such that the team must comprise of not more than 3 men. What does it say? Not more than 3 men. I'm emphasizing on not more than 3 men. Now, the number of men should not be more than 3. So can they be 0? Yes. Can the number of men be 1? Yes. Can the number of men be 2? Yes. Can the number of men be equals to 3? Yes. Now, the team which we are going to form can have 0 men, and it will have to have how many women? We have to form a team of 11, so there will be 11 women. Or it can have one man, and how many women will I need now? 10 women. Again, the conjunction I will be using is or. We'll always solve questions on permutations and combination and probability in language first, and then we'll go with the numbers. Yes? Now, or if 2 men are there, there will be how many women? There will be 9 women. Or if I have 3 men, I'll have how many? 8 women. 8 women. Now, 0 men. Selecting 0 men, I do not have to write anything there. Selecting 11 women, out of total of how many women do I have? I have 11 women. Selecting 11 women, out of total of 11 women can be done in how many different ways? 11C7. And OR represents what operation? Addition or multiplication? OR represents addition operation. Now, one man can be selected out of total of 5 men in how many different ways? One man selected out of total of 5 men in 5C1 ways, and represents multiplication operation. And selecting 10 women out of total of 11 women can be done in 11C10. Or represents addition again, selecting 5C2 and then I'll be writing it a little bit quick now, and represents plus represents OR operation 5C3 into 11C8. Yes, this part must help us to arrive at our answer. Now, NC1, Cn is equals to 1, we have it there. Now, NC1 is nothing but n, that is 5 here. 11C10 is nothing but 11 here, plus 5C2, what will I get? I'll have a 5 and a 4 divided by 5 minus 3 is 5 minus 2 is 3. I'll have a 2 here just remaining. 3 I cancelled it off. If you do not know how I did it, you will have to watch our basic videos on permutations and combinations, where I have in detail discussed how to go with the calculation. Okay. Now, I have what here? 11C9. So I'll have 11 into 10 divided by 2. Yes. Plus 5C3 I have here. I'll have 5 into 4 divided by 2 into 11C8 I'll have here 11 into 10 into 9 divided by 11 minus 8 is how much? 3. 3 factorial I'll have, that is nothing but 3 into 2 into 1. Yes. After all these calculations, I should arrive at my answer, which I've already solved, which is 2256. Yes, guys. So let's move with the next question of ours. What does it say? How many prime numbers less than 100 and greater than 3 are of the form 4x plus 1, 5y minus 1? Yes. Now, 4x plus 1 form must also be satisfied, and 5y minus 1 form also must be satisfied. So how many primes do we have from 1 to 100? We should know that. We have 25 primes. Now, excluding numbers from 1 to 3. Yes, excluding numbers from 1 to 3. Many greater than 3 he says, right? He says greater than 3. So what will be the primes that I'll have to write here? Let's start with it. 5, 7, next 11, next 13. If I go on writing like this, I'll arrive at like this. These are all my How many? 25 minus 2, 23 prime numbers. Now, how many numbers do I have which are of the form 4x plus 1 and 5y minus 1, both satisfying these two? So let's check. Now, if I have my first form, this is 5y minus 1. Now, if you multiply anything with a 5, you should either get a 5 in the end or a 0, that is 10. Let me take it as 10. Yes. Now if I subtract 1, that is 1 here. If I subtract 1, what will I get? If I subtract 1, I'll get a 4. If I subtract 1 from 10, I'll get what? A 9. Now, can I have a prime number ending with 4? So I'll have to directly negate this. Okay. Now, it should be the numbers here ending with 9. I should check for them. What are the numbers ending with 9? I have 19 here, 29 here, next 59 here, next is 79, next is 89. These are my numbers. But is it enough if they satisfy only 5y minus 1 condition? No, they must also satisfy my 4x plus 1 condition. Now, let's check for 4x plus 1. Now, all these numbers already satisfy my form, that is 5y minus 1. But what about 4x plus 1? 4x plus 1. Now, if I have my 19 here, for 19, the nearest I can reach to 19 in 4 table is how many times? 16. 16 plus 1 gives me 17. Now, I cannot reach to 19 because the next number after 16 that in 4 table I'll go is how much? 20. 20 plus 1 will give me how much? 21. So 19 is not possible. The next number, 29. 29. The nearest I can reach is 28. 28 plus 1, 7. 7 4s are 28 and 28 plus 1, 29. Yes. Yes, 29 can be there. Next number, 59. 59. Now, this 59 here, the nearest I can reach is 60. 60. Yes. Now, before 60, what is that I can reach? 60. Before 60, I can reach 56. 56 plus 1 gives me 57. But will that help me? No, I need a 59. So, this is also eliminated. Okay. Now, moving with 79. 79. In 4 table, I can reach a 80 again. Yes, I can reach a 80 again. So, I cannot go 81. I can eliminate this one as well directly. Now, I have a 89 here. 89. 89. After 80, I will go to 84 and then I'll go to 88. 88 plus 1 gives me how much? 89. So this will also be there. Now, let's have a look at those options. Which, if option has anything like 2, no. The answer is 2. Which are those numbers? If they ask you in particular, which will be that? 29 and 89. The next question that we have here. What does it say? It is talking about 3 dice. And in our basic videos, we have already dealt with 2 dice. Yes, the sum. 3 dice are rolled. What is the probability of getting sum is equals to 13? When 2 dice were rolled, we used to draw an inverted triangle like this, and we used to have 7 here and all the sums. And we could solve the answer. Yes. Now, but coming to 3 dice, what are we supposed to do? Okay. The figure will look something like this. Yes. At the corners, I'll have a 10. And 11. Okay. What is the minimum sum? My question is, what is the minimum sum you can get when you roll 3 dice? Okay. Minimum sum that you can get is 3. How? 1 in the first dice, second, 1, 1, 1. In all the 3 dice, you can get 1, 1, 1. And the minimum sum. Sum meaning addition of these. Addition of the results of the 3 dice will give you the sum. Yes. What about this 6 plus 6 plus 6? Maximum sum that you can get is how much? 18. Yes. Do you agree? The minimum sum that I can get is 3. And the maximum sum is 18. Now, the number of favorable cases for this, only one. Only one. Next, 3. Next sum that I can get is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Coming to the favorable cases, here we will have to follow a pattern which is something like this. 1 plus 2 gives me a 3. That is the favorable cases of getting sum is equals to 4. Plus 3. 6 plus 4, 10 plus 5, 15 plus 6, 21 and now I'll have to add plus 4. Plus 4 gives me how much? 25 and plus 2 this time for 10. The sum is 10 is 27. 27 for this. Now, exactly the opposite in decreasing order I should write. Now 10 and 11 were done. What are the different sums I can get? 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Yes. What about the sum? What about the favorable cases? I'll get 27 for 11 again and later I'm going to write this in the decreasing fashion. That is 25, 21, 15, 10, 6, 3 and 1. Now, so what are these here? These on the inside, including this 10 and 11, are nothing but my sums. And what are these on the outside here? These are nothing but my favorable cases of getting these sums. Yes. Now, what is he asking in the question? What is the probability of getting sum is equals to 13? Sum is equals to 13. The case is what? Favorable cases is 21. My probability is nothing but what? Number of favorable cases upon total number of cases. Total number of cases. Total number of cases when you roll 3 dice, 6 into 6 into 6. That gives me how much? 216. Favorable cases for 13, 21. 21 upon 216. Can you find it in the options there? Yes, I have it there. Yes. Now, if he asks something other than this, like what is the probability of getting sum is equals to, let's say 16. How much will it be? 6 upon 6 is the favorable case of getting sum is equals to 16. 6 upon 216 will give me my answer. Now, you guys have a project. You have to solve probability of getting even number when 3 dice are rolled. What are my even sums? Even sum, I'll say in particular. Even sums when I roll 3 dice, and put this answer in the comment section. Coming to the next question that we have here, it says something like this. On a 26 question test, there is a test which consists of 26 questions. 5 points were deducted for each wrong answer. 5 points were deducted for each wrong answer. WAL, right? Okay, next. And 8 points were added for every correct answer. 8 points for every correct answer. Okay. Now, if all questions were answered, if all the questions were answered, how many were correct if score was equals to 0? At the end, after answering all the questions, what was the score? The score was 0. Yes, brilliant student. Yes. Now, what did we do here? The score. This is going to play a vital role. Now, then let me take x as to be the number of correct questions. I am assuming here. Why is it x? Don't ask me that question. X has to be, I am assuming it has to be correct answers, correct, the questions that were answered correctly, and y has to be the questions that were answered wrong. Okay. Now, total together, x plus y gives me what? 26. Correct questions plus long questions gives me 26. Yes, do you agree? Now, next, what does he say? He says for every correct answer, he is to get 8 points. So, for x questions, how much will he get? 8x. Yes. Now, for every wrong answer, he used to get 5 negative points. So, how much will he get? Minus 5. Minus 5y is equals to 26. Fine. Now, if I solve this further, what will I get? 8x minus 5y is equals to, sorry, not 26. It is how much? Score is 0. Score is 0. After answering after answering all the questions, all the 26 questions, 8 questions positive marks and minus 5 for each wrong answer, he was getting the score has to be how much? Score has to be 0. Score has to be 0. Yes, you understood why it is 0? Yes. Now, moving further. Now, here I have 2 unknown terms, but I need to find out what? I can see that from the question, I need to find out my correct answers. Correct answers are what? X. So, I'll replace this y of mine with this. Y is equals to, can I write it as to be 26 minus x? 26 minus x. So, what will that give me? 8x minus 5 into 26 minus x is equals to 0. Now, this will give me how much? 8x minus 26. 26 I have here. 5 into 2 is 10. 100 and 6, 30. 130. 130 minus 5x is equals to 0. Yes. 5x. Okay, minus into minus, that also gives me a plus here. This minus symbol is multiplied inside, so it gives me a plus. So 8 and 5 is 13. 13x is equals to, if I send this 130 onto the other side, x is equals to 13 1 times and 10 times. So number of correct answers were how many? 10. Can you see that in an option? Yes, option A is my right answer. The next question that we have here, it says what? two alloys, everyone 100% attention towards the screen. Yes, two alloys A and B are composed of two basic elements. Okay, two basic elements. Two alloys consist of two basic elements. Let me take the elements as E1 and E2, and the alloys I've already taken as A and B. They have given that there are two alloys and they consist of basic elements E1, E2. Let me take them as element 1, element 2. Yes, now two alloys A and B composed of two basic elements E1, E2. The ratios of the composition of two basic elements in two alloys are 5:3 and 1:2 respectively. So here I'll write 5:3, element 1 is to element 2, 5:3 is to 1:2. Yes, now a new ally X is formed by mixing the two alloys. A new ally X is formed by mixing the two alloys, these two alloys. Okay, now mixing the two alloys A and B in the ratio 4:3. These alloys A and B are mixed in 4:3. Let me tell it again. A and B are mixed in 4:3. The ratio of alloys is given to us, not the elements. Okay, so it is given to us that they are mixed in the ratio 4:3. So this is what? Ratio. This is ratio. Okay, what is the ratio of the composition of two basic elements in the alloy X? Two basic elements in the alloy X. In X, what is the composition of? In X he is asking what? E1 is to E2. E1 is to E2. If A and B are mixed in the ratio, A and B are mixed in the ratio 4:3. Okay, A and B are mixed in the ratio 4:3. Now the ratio is what, guys? The ratio is 4:3, but the actual amount will be how much? It will be multiple of some HCF. Now if you could not understand my statement that is multiple of HCF, then you will have to watch our basic videos on ratios. Yes, exactly, you are right. Now 3x it will be that. This will be what? Actual value. Yes, that is what I mean to say is it will be a multiple of some number that will be equals to HCF. Yes, this is the ratio part. Actual value I've taken as to be multiple. I've taken as to be x, that will be 4x and 3x. Now what do we have to find out? What is the ratio of composition of two basic elements in the alloy X? Ratio of composition of two basic elements, that is we have to find out E1 upon E2. E1 upon E2. Now let me start. E1 will be how much? E1 will be 5 parts. 5 parts out of total of how many parts? 8 parts. 5 parts out of total of 8 parts of A. Of A. How much? 4x. 4x. Okay. Now, is this even? Just is this it? No. E1 is not only in A, but it is also in B. It is also in B. Plus, I'll have to add. Now, plus 1 part out of total of 3 parts. Okay. 1 part out of total of 3 parts of E1. E1 is how much? Again, it is E1 is how much? 4x. Total. From B I am talking now, right? So it will be 3x. It will be 3x. Now, later. From B, the ratio given total amount of is how much? 3x. Actual values of B in the ratio is 3x. Yes. Now, let's go with the next one. Element 2. Now I am talking about element 2. Element 2 will be how much? 3 parts out of total of 8 parts. 3 parts out of total of 8 parts of A is 4x. Plus this will be 2 parts out of total of 3 parts. 2 parts out of total of 3 parts of 3x. Of 3x. Yes. Let me make some simple calculations here. It says 4 1s. This is 4 2s. 3 3. 4 1. 4 2s. 3 3. So this will leave me with how much? Just check. I have 5 by 2 here. 5 by 2 x and 1 here. So this will give me 7x upon 2. 7x upon 2. In the denominator side, what am I left out? 3 by 2x plus 2x. 2 2s are 4. 4 and 3 is 7. Again I will get 7x. In the denominator again I will have 2. So can I write it as 1 upon 1? So what ratio will they be in? The ratio of composition of two basic elements in alloy X will be what? E1 is to E2, that is 1 is to 1. Yes, I hope you are able to follow this. Now you have to remember one thing, that we will be dealing one element at a time. one element at a time. When I wrote this E1, I dealt with only E1. Yes, E1. When I dealt with E2, I only dealt with E2. That is 3 by 8 and that is 2 by 3. Yes. If you could not understand this, please watch this again. Okay. Start. Coming to the next question that we have here. What does it say? It says Bablu alone, okay, my dear friend, Bablu alone can do a piece of work in 10 days. What will be our approach? We'll also always write it Bablu 10 days. Next. Anshu alone can do it in 15 days. Anshu, I'll take it as A. He can do it in 15 days. Okay. Now, what does he have? Total wages for the work is 5,000. Total wages for the work is 5,000. Okay. Now, how much should Bablu be paid if they work together for the entire duration of the time? So, our standard operating procedures, if you watch our basic videos, you can see that we always assume the work has to be the LCM of 10 and 15. So, that gives me how much here? I'll take it as to be 30 units. Work I'll assume 30 units. Now, what will be the rate of work or the speed at which Bablu is working? 30 units divided by 10 days, that gives me 3 units per day, and that of Anshu will be 2 units per day. Okay. So we are not considerate about B plus A, Bablu plus Anshu. We do not need that actually. Now start thinking. Whatever money that is earned will be divided according to their work done. Yes. Yes. So in simple words, according to the rate of work, they will be given the money. Now, how many parts did Bablu do? Bablu did 3 units out of total of how many units? 5 units. Bablu did 3 units out of total of how much? 5 units. So he must be paid 3 units out of total of 5 units of rupees 5,000. So that gives me how much? 3,000. Can we see 3,000 in the options there? Yes, we have option B, which is 3,000. Coming to the next question, it says average of 3 numbers A, B, C is given as 48. Average of A, B, C, D is 46. It is given that E is having 3 more than D. Then average of B, C, D, E is 45. What is the score of A? What is the score of A? We all know that average is nothing but what? Average is nothing but sum by n. Sum by n. Now, the average part is given to us in each case. If you see there, what does it say? It says average of A, B and C is 48. So, can I write it as A plus B plus C, that is sum, by number of entities n 1, 2, 3 divided by 3 is equals to 48. Can I do this? Now, this will give me how much? A plus B plus C is equals to 4 into 120 and 24, 144. 144. Now, let's process the next data that is given to us. What does the next data say? It says A plus B plus C plus D is equals to 46. Can I directly write it this time? A plus B plus C plus D is equals to 46, he says. Now, divided by 4 I will have here. Let me take that 4 onto the other side and multiply with my 46. That gives me how much? 4, 4, 160, 6, 4, 24. That gives me 184. Yes. Now, it is given that E is having 3 more than D. Okay. Before that, now, can I replace that A, B, C part here with 144 so that I can get D? If I make that simple substitution, what will I get? 186 minus 184 minus 144. That gives me how much? That gives me 40. So, value of D is 40. Now, read the next statement. It says, it's given that E is having 3 more than D, 3 more than D, 3 more than D. E is equals to D plus 3. D value is, let me write it, D plus 3. D value is 40 plus 3. That gives me 43. Now, I know the value of E as well now. Now, the average of B, C, D, E is 45. The next data that is given to us is B, C, D, E is 45. Now, B plus C plus D plus E is 45. Again, I'll write the direct step by multiplying the 4 that I have, that is the n, number of observations, into the average. That gives me 45 into 4, 4, 4, 16, 5, 4, 20. 180 I'll get here. Yes, 180 I'll get here. Now, Now instead of this E, can I substitute 43 directly? Can I do that? Yes. Instead of D, can I substitute 40? Yes, I can do that. Now B plus C is unknown to me. B plus C value I do not know. So I'll keep it as it is, B plus C. Okay. Now if I send this to the other side, what will I have? This is 83. 83 minus 180. That gives me B plus C is equals to 97. B plus C is 97. Now if I make the simple substitution here to get my A, this, let me take this as equation 1. Substituting the value of B plus C in equation 1, what will I get? A plus B plus C is plus 97 is equals to 144. 144. Now if I subtract it, A is equals to 144 minus 97. 44 I'll have there, 3. That will give me 47. So value of A is 47. Yes. The next question that we have here, it says what Raj travels a part of journey by taxi by paying 15 km per hour and the rest by train by paying 21 rupees per kilometer. If he travels a total distance of 450 kilometers and pay 8130, then the distance traveled by Raj in train is. Now start thinking. Now haven't we solved a similar type of question previously somewhere? Yes, the question on questions, 26 questions were answered correctly. Now apply the same logic here. Just pay attention. What will I do? Let me take X as to be the distance traveled by Raj by taxi. Okay. So this is distance traveled by Raj by taxi, and Y has to be the distance traveled by Raj in train. Okay. Now what does it say? It says totally he travels 450 kilometers. Okay. X plus Y is given to us as to be 450 kilometers. 450 kilometers. Now he paid how much money? Start thinking. How much money did he pay? 15 rupees per kilometer for taxi. So 15 rupees per kilometer. How many kilometers? X kilometers. X plus 21 rupees per kilometer when he traveled by train. How many kilometers by train? Y. And he paid the total amount of how much? 8130. Now what is he asking for now? The distance traveled by Raj in train. So distance traveled by Raj in train is Y. So I need to replace my X. Now if I need to replace my X, can I further reduce this, write this equation as to be X is equals to 450 minus Y. I can do that, right? X is equals to 450 minus Y. I can simply send this Y onto the other side and write it here now. Here now, what will it give? 450 minus Y plus 21Y is equals to 8130. Now, some meager calculations now will lead us to the answer. Yes, the value Y. Now, 15 I have here, 21. So, let me take out 3 out of here. If I take 3 out of the total equation, what will I get? I'll get a 5 here into 450 minus Y, yes, plus 7Y is equals to 8130. Yes. Now I can also strike this 8130 with 3. 3 1 times, 3 2 times. So how much am I left with? 2 here. 3710. 2710 I'll have. Yes, 2710 here. Now 5 into 450. 5 into 4 is 2000. Again 5 into 4, 400 I have here. So 5 into 4 is 20. 2000 I'll have here. 5 into 5. 5 into 50 is 250. 2250 I'll have. 2250. Minus 5y plus 7y is equals to 2710. Now minus 5y plus 7y plus 2y is equals to 2250. If I subtract it from 2710, 2300 I'll consider. From to reach 410 plus 50, 460 I'll have. Yes, so the Y will be equals to how much? To 1 times, to 2 times, to 3 times 0. Y will be 230. So what is he asking us? He is asking the distance traveled by Raj in train is 230 kilometers in the option. The option A is your right option. So the next question that we have here is, it says University of Vikram has enrolled 9 PhD candidates. Babu, Chitra, Dheeraj, Isha, Farooq, some. Now, Farooq and Iqbal were enrolled on the same day as each other. So we will start taking the data that is given to us on the screen. So Farooq and Iqbal were enrolled on the same day. This will represent same day for me. Okay. Now same day as each other, and none else was enrolled on that day, and no one else was enrolled on that day. Only these two were enrolled. Next, Chitra and Gauri were enrolled on the same day. Chitra and Gauri were enrolled on the same day. Okay. Now, and no one else was enrolled on that day. No one else was enrolled on that day. Okay. On each of the other days of hiring, exactly one candidate was enrolled on each of the other day of hiring. Okay. If this was the first day, on the other day of hiring, only one candidate was enrolled. Okay. I have taken it down. Yes. Now, Isha was enrolled before Babu. Isha was enrolled before Babu. I'll use a hierarchy in my flow chart to represent this. Okay. Isha was enrolled before Babu, meaning she should come above. Isha was enrolled before Babu. B I'll write here. Now, Hamid was enrolled before Dheeraj. Hamid was enrolled before Dheeraj. D I'll write it, Dheeraj. Okay. Now, Dheeraj was enrolled after Iqbal but before Isha. Yes, Dheeraj was enrolled after Iqbal. Now he says after Iqbal, but he does not mention anything about Hamid. So my Iqbal can come here or Iqbal can come above Hamid. Okay, he can come either right above Dheeraj or before Hamid as well. Yes, but before Isha, Dheeraj was enrolled before Isha, meaning Isha was enrolled after Dheeraj. Yes, now Gauri was enrolled after Jacob and Babu. Okay, Jacob and Babu. Gauri was enrolled after Jacob and Babu. Okay, I'll write it here. Now, next statement. Babu was enrolled before Jacob. Okay, now I can dissolve this. Now, what does it say? Babu was enrolled before Jacob. So, Babu will come here. Okay, Babu was enrolled before Jacob. So, Jacob will come here. And above Jacob, Babu will come. Babu was enrolled before Jacob, and Gauri will remain the same way. Okay. Now, can I relate this data to this one here? Farooq and Iqbal were hired on the same day. So, if Iqbal is here, Farooq will be here. If Iqbal is here, Farooq will be here. And this is and, okay. Farooq will be here. Now, other thing. Gauri and Chitra were enrolled on the same day. So, if Gauri is here, Chitra will be here. Okay. Now, what is he asking now? Who were the last two candidates to be enrolled? Okay, who were the last two candidates to be enrolled? Now, start thinking. Where do we have Gauri and Chitra? Okay, Gauri and Chitra. Let's start with Gauri and Chitra. Gauri and Chitra, above Gauri and Chitra, I have Jacob. Above Jacob, I have Babu. Okay. Now, above Babu, I have Isha. Above Babu, I have Isha. If I relate these two data that I've taken down here, I can see that above Babu, I have Isha. I'll further make this diagram go up. Above Babu, I have Isha. Okay. Now, above Isha, I have Dheeraj. Above Isha, I have Dheeraj. Above Dheeraj, I do not know if this is Iqbal or Hamid. I do not know if it is Iqbal or Hamid. I'll take one among them. Okay. Iqbal, Farooq, do not confuse. Just talk about Iqbal. Let me talk about Iqbal. If Iqbal is there, Farooq will be there for sure. Okay. If Iqbal comes here, Hamid will come above him. Okay. If Hamid comes here, Iqbal will come above him. This is the only possibility there. Yes. Now, to solve our question, so just check with any of the conditions are defined here. Isha is coming. Babu, Isha should come above Babu. Isha should come above Babu. One condition satisfied. Isha should have Dheeraj above and Hamid and Iqbal above. Isha should have Dheeraj above her, and above that there will be Iqbal or Hamid and Hamid or Iqbal. Yes, that is done. Next, above Gauri there must be Jacob and this is B. B is who? B is Babu. Yes. Above Gauri, there should be Jacob, and the condition also said that above Jacob there should be Babu. So these conditions of mine are satisfied. Now, let's have a look at the question that we have here. It says what? Who were the last two candidates to be enrolled? Who were the last two candidates to be enrolled? So I can see that the last two candidates to be enrolled according to my flow chart is Gauri and Chitra. Do I have them in the options? Yes, option A says Gauri and Chitra. Let's also check with the rest of the options that we have there. So let's have the options there. Babu and Chitra. Babu and Chitra. No, Babu is here. He was not the last. Babu and Chitra. Chitra is here, but Babu is also included. So negated. Babu and Gauri. Babu and Gauri. Babu is here. Again, let's eliminate it. Isha and Jacob. Isha is here. Jacob is here. They were not the last two. Last two were Gauri and Chitra. So my answer for sure is A, and it is correct. The next question. 10th one. What does it say? It says, if M is 30% of Q, Q is 20% of P, N is 50% of P, then M by N is. He is asking us what? He is asking us M by N. Question mark. Okay. Now let me take M, Q, and the other one is N and P. Okay. Whatever he has given. Okay. Now let me write it. M is 30% of Q. M is 30%, M is equals to 30% of Q. Okay. Now Q is 20% of P. Q is 20% of P. Now N is 50% of P. N is 50% of P. Yes. So M is being compared to Q here. Q is being compared to P here. N is being compared to P again. So what will be our approach whenever such type of question appears? What we are supposed to do is we have to assume the one which is not compared. Which is the one which is not compared among all these? P. So let me assume P has to be 100. If I assume P has to be 100, what will be this? N will be how much? N will be 50% of P. 50% of P is 50. Yes, 50% of P is directly 50. I can write it. Now Q is 20% of P. 20% of P, 20% of 100 will be how much? 20% of 100 will be 20. Now what is he asking? Now next statement he says 30% of Q. M is 30% of Q. M is 30% of Q. 10% of Q is how much? 2. So 30% will be how much? 6. Yes, 10% is 2. 30% will be 6. 6 I have here. Now he is asking us M upon N. So value of M is 6, that of N is 50. Now do we have this in the options? No. So there must be some simple 2 3s and this is 25. So 3 upon 25. Do we have this in the option? Yes. The option B says 3 upon 25, which is right. So whenever such type of question appears, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to assume the one which is not compared. Which is not compared. Yes. Now we have a question on staircase. Yes guys, this is going to be very interesting and full of learning. So I request you to pay 100% attention towards the screen. Okay. Now we'll discuss two methods in this. One is about understanding, the other one is about a faster way to solve it. Yes. Now pay attention towards the screen. What does it say? In a staircase there are 10 steps. There are 10 steps. Okay. And a child is attempting to climb the staircase. Each time she can either take one step or 2 steps. Each time she can take either 1 step or 2 steps. Okay. This is one move. That is one move, or this is one move. Okay. Now, in how many different ways can she climb the staircase? Let me quickly draw a staircase for you. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 1, color it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. There is a trophy which this kid wants to hack. Okay. Now, it looks like a dumbbell though. Yes. Now, what we have here? 10 stairs. Now, pay attention. 10 stairs. In how many different ways can she climb the stairs? Okay. Now, if she is using all 1 steps, all of them are 1 steps. So how will the kid start? The kid will be here. The child will be here, and she will take 1 step from here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and happy to reach the trophy. Now, is there any difference? Is there any difference between these steps? All of them are what? One step. If I replace this step here and this step here, will you be able to identify that this was this step? No. So all are what? One steps. All of them are one steps. Yes. So there is how many different ways this child can reach to the top using one step? Only one different way. That will count in as only one different way. Yes. Now if the child is using all of them has to be two steps. Start thinking. All of them, this child is using two steps. Now, where will she reach directly? Here. Next, here. Next, here. Next, here. Next, on the top. Yes. Now, similarly, as in the previous case, if I replace this two step that she has used from here to reach from 4 to 6 and bring it and keep it here and replace that here. Replace 1 to 2 here. So, will there be any difference there? No. All these moves she is making is same. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yes. So, in how many different ways can she reach from the bottom to the top using only two steps? Only one different way. One different way. This was the easy part. This is done. Now what happens? Now she can start using 1, 2 step and the remaining has to be 1 steps. Remaining she can use 1 steps. Now let me take another diagram for you quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay. Let me mark them as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay. Now, this child here, she can take first step itself has to be the 2 step and the remaining she'll take as 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 and reach the top. Or this 2 step she can take somewhere in between here, or like for example she can take the first step has to be only 1 step and now she'll take 2 steps to reach to 3 and then again she'll continue this 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 to reach this top. Now start thinking. Now like I told you in the beginning, how many moves? That 1 step is one type of a move and 2 step is one type of a move. Okay. Now if she is climbing using 1, 2 step, then totally how many steps will be remaining with her? 8 steps will be remaining. So to reach to the top, she will be using 8 moves there. Yes, 1 move of 2 step and 8 moves of 1 step. So totally how many moves do I have? I have 9 moves to make. Now out of that, what am I selecting? I am selecting where this 2 step move can come. It can either come in the beginning, here, here, here. Yes, where that 2 step will come among these 9 moves. So what am I doing? Selecting this 2 step move out of total of 9 moves. Yes, 1 2 step move out of total of 9 moves. So how many different ways can I arrange them? I can arrange them in 9C1 ways. 9C1 ways. So what will I have here? When I have 1 2 step, how many different ways can that 1 2 step be done? How many different ways can that be done? 9C1 ways. This was about 1 2 step. Now start thinking. When I have 2 2 steps, okay, start thinking. When I have 2 2 steps, when I am climbing 2 2 steps, how many steps would I be covering out of the total of 10? I'll be covering 4. So how many 1 step moves do I need to make? 6. Yes. Now those 6 1 step moves and 2 2 step moves. Totally how many moves? 6 and 2 8 moves. So out of these 8 moves, I have to select what? Those 2 2 steps moves. Yes, 2 2 steps moves I am using. Where all those can come. So that is nothing but what? 8C2. Now what will happen? She will be using let's say 3 2 steps. Okay, 3 2 steps. This is about 3. Let me write it. It will be confusing. Okay, 3 2 steps. If she is using 3 2 steps now. If she is using 3 2 steps, how many steps would she be climbing out of the total of 10? She would be climbing 6 steps. Now, how many steps would be remaining? 4. Yes, 4. How many? So, 4 moves to be made and how many moves of 2 2 steps? 3. So, totally how many moves? 4 moves of single step and 3 moves of 2 steps. So totally 7 moves. Out of these 7 moves, I am selecting where this 2-step move will come. How many 2-step moves? 3 2-step moves. That will give me 3. Now next, what will happen? Again start thinking. Now this time she will be using 4 2 steps. 4 2 steps. If she is using 4 2 steps, she will be covering how many? 8 steps. So how many more steps does she need? She needs 2 steps, 2 moves to reach to 2 steps. So now those 2 moves of 1 step and these 4 moves of 2 steps. So totally how many? 6. And they are selecting how many 4 moves? 2 moves of 2 steps. We'll be selecting 4. 6 C4. If I go any further, it will be nothing but 4 2 steps are done. 5 2 steps is, it is nothing but the case where we discussed here. That is all or 2. All or 2. She can do it only one way, that I've taken it here. Okay. Now if I go and do the calculations here, I'll get my answer. So let me check what that is. 1 plus 1, 9C1. NC1 is equals to N. That I'll get a 9 here. 8C2. 8C2 is nothing but I'll get a 8 into 7 divided by 2. Yes, 8 into 6 divided by 2. Next, what will I get here? 7C3 I have here. Okay, 7 minus 3 is 4. So I'll strike it off with 4, 7 and 6 and 5 will be remaining, divided by 3 factorial, that is 3 into 2. Okay. Now the last one that is remaining for me is 6C4. Now I'll have 6 into 5. Yes, 6 minus 4, 2. Okay. I'll have 2 into 1. Now if I take this calculation here, what will I be remaining with? Let's check. I have 2 here, 2 1 times, 2 4 times, and 3 1 times, 3 2 times. Okay, 2 and 2 I can negate it. Here I have 2 3 times. Yes, so I'll be remaining with this. I'll write it as directly 11. Okay, this I'll write it as directly 11. Let me erase this for you. Okay, this I'll write it as 11. So I have how much here? 4 and 7, 28 here. Next, how much here? 7 5 35. Is that it? Is there anything? Yes, nothing. 35 I have here. Next, here how much do I have? 15 I have here. Yes, that gives me how much? 20 30 50 and 10 60 and 10 70 and 9 89 I'll get. 70 and 10 89 I'll get. Yes, just check. Yes, 10 30 60 70 80 and 89 is my answer. Yes, able to arrive at this, and I hope you understood the logic running behind it as well. Yes, but this series that we are seeing here is Fibonacci series. What do you mean by Fibonacci series? It is nothing but whenever 2 preceding numbers are added, you get the next number. Yes. Now what are the 2? First I'll take 0 plus 1. That gives me how much? 1. This is my first term. Yes. Now 1 plus 1, preceding number was 1, plus 1, that gives me how much? 2. Now preceding number, if I add 2 preceding numbers, I'll get the next number. 1 plus 2, that gives me a 3. I'll add preceding numbers. 2 plus 3, that gives me a 5. 5 plus 3, that gives me a 8. 8, 5 plus 8, that gives me 13. 13 and 8. 8 and 13 I'll write. That gives me how much? 21. Now 21, 13 plus 21. That gives me how much? 34. Yes, 34. 34 plus 21. 21 plus 34. That gives me how much? 55. Yes. Now 34 plus 55. That gives me how much? 89. Yes. Now 55 plus 89. That gives me how much? 50 and 30, 130. 139 and 5, 144. That gives me 144. This is nothing but my Fibonacci series. Here in this Fibonacci series, this is the first term, this will be the second term, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, yes, sixth term, these will be the sixth term, yes. To solve this question on 10 staircase, what we need to know is f of n. One simple thing that you need to know is f of n, I'll write it here for you. F of n is equals to f of n minus 1 plus f of n minus 2. Yes, yes, f of n minus 1 plus f of n minus 2. So what is n here? N is nothing but my 10 steps. The total number of steps that I am taking is 10 steps. Out of those, what is f of n minus 1? F of n minus 1 represents 1 steps. F of n minus 2 represents 2 steps. Yes. Now, f of n, if I want to calculate it for 10 steps, f of 10 will be equals to f of n minus 1. N is how much here? 10 minus 1, 9. Yes, this is the 9th term, plus f of n minus 2. N minus 2 is nothing but 8 I'll get here. This is 8th term. So my 9th term plus 8th term should give me my answer, that is 89. Just check, 9th term is how much here? 6th is this, 7th is this, 8th is this, 9th term. This is 9th term and this is 8th term. 9th term plus 8th term gives me a 89. 89 is my answer. 89 is my answer. This only is not restricted to this. It is not restricted to this. If you have 5 steps, what will you do? You solve it on your, try and solve it on your. But if instead of only 1 step and 2 step, if the child can also use 3 steps, what will you do? You'll have to add one more thing here, that is f of n minus 3. N minus 3. That will give you the answer, but it is not related to this question here. Now, guys, if you like the method that we solved here and you got the understanding here, what is stopping you from liking our videos? And please also share the word. I can see a number of views on the videos, but not many are liking it. Please go ahead and like it right now. Coming to the next question, which is on series question. Guys, if you haven't watched our series video, basic and advanced by Kanakraj, please go ahead and watch it. It has brief illustration about your approach and everything, and series questions are very important and they're very frequently asked. Now, you cannot miss on such a question. What does the question say? Now, 4, 20, 35, 49, 62 and 74 is given to us. He is asking the missing term. He is asking for the missing term. Now, whenever you see a series which is increasing, it can either be sum or multiplication. Sum or multiplication. So, our approach will be that we will always find the difference between two elements here, two numbers here, given series. The difference, first step will be how much here? Difference is 16 here. Difference here is 15. Difference here is 14. Difference here is 13. Difference here is 12. So, difference here will be how much? 11. Yes, easy question. So, these type of questions can be a deciding factor between you clearing an examination and failing to clear it. So, you have to be well versed with different types of questions that will come across in number series. So, please watch our videos on number series as well. Now, so this will give me how much? 74 plus 11 gives me 85. You can see it in the options there. Yes, option D is 85. Okay, let's go with the next question that we have here. It says what? The least number which when divided by 48, 60, 72, 108, 140 leaves 38, 50, 62, 98 and 130 as reminders respectively. Okay, let me take down the question that we have here. 48, 60, 72, 108, 140 leaves a remainder of 38, 50, 62, 98 and 130. Okay, now if I write it in a proper form, okay, what does it say? The least number which one divided by, we have to find that least number. Let that least number be x. Okay, let that least number be x. Now, least number which when divided by 48, leaves a remainder of how much? 38. Leaves a remainder of 38. Similarly, least number which when divided by 60 leaves a remainder of 50. Next, least number which when divided by 72 leaves a remainder of 62, and this here is how much? Least number divided by 108 leaves a remainder of 98, and this number which x which is divided by 140 leaves a remainder of 130. Yes. Now one thing to observe here is this divisor and remainder. The difference between my divisor and remainder is how much? It is 10. It is 10. Now, what is the definition of LCM? Definition of LCM says, yes, the least number divisible by given set of numbers. The least number which is divisible by given set of numbers. So that is what I need to find here. So to calculate the LCM of these numbers, that is 48, 60, 72, 108 and 140. What will I have to do? Let's calculate LCM. To calculate the LCM, what I can do is, you can use any method that you are comfortable. Like I said, 48, 60, the numbers I have is 72, 108 and 140. Yes. Now this 48 here, I can write it as 12 into 4. 60, I can 12 into 5. 72, I can write it 12 into 6. 12 into 9 here. And 20 into 7 here. Yes. The next thing, what am I doing here? I am factorizing. What is factorization? Factorization is nothing but expressing a number as product of powers of prime. So I should have all the prime numbers here. Yes. So a 12 can be represented as what? 12 can be represented as 3 into 4. Can I write it as 3 into 4 into 4 here? So this will be what? 3 into 4 into 5 here. So this will be what? 3 into 4 into 6 here. Now this will be what? 6 instead of 6, can I write it as 2 into 3? Yes, I can do that. 3 into 4 into 9, can I write it as 3 square directly here? Now this is what? 5 into 4 into 7. So can I write it as 4 into 5 into 7? Yes. Now in case of LCM, you have to take all the maximum powers. What are the maximum powers here? So I have a 2 square and a 2 square, which is nothing but 2 power 4 into 3 power 1. Okay. Here I have what? A 2 square, a 3 and a 5. What do I have here? A 2 square and a 2 from here. So this will be 2 power 3 again. Yes, 2 square and a 2 from here. And a 3 square. Yes. Next, what do I have here? A 2 square and a 3 power 3 here. Next, a 2 square and 5 and a 7. Yes. When it comes to LCM, I have to take all the maximum powers. So 2 power 4, I will be keeping it. Yes. Next, 3's power, highest power that I have is 3 power 3. I will be keeping it. Next, 5's highest power is 5 itself, so I will also be keeping it. Next, I have 7, so I will keep 7 as well. Now, a simple multiplication will give me my answer. Now 2 power 4, can I write it as to be 4 into 4 here? Yes, and 3 power 9, I can write it as 9 into 3 here, and 5 into 7 here. Okay. Now what will I do? I'll take this 5 and multiply it with the 4. So, and this 7 and I'll multiply it with 3. Okay. Now this gives me how much? 5 into 4 are negated. I'll get a 20 here. 7 into 3, I'll get a 21 here. So what am I remaining with? I'm remaining with 9 and 4. 9 into 4 is 36. Okay. 36 into 21 gives me how much? 36 2 is 720. 720 plus 36. 756 I'll get. Yes. Into I have 20. Okay. 756 into 20. 752 times I'll have 1500. Yes, and 6 2 times I will have 12. 1 5 1 2 I have a 0. I'll have to take the 0. 1 5 1 2 0. This is what? This is my LCM. Now this LCM, is that the answer? In the options you might also happen to see 1 5 1 2 0. No, we do not have it. But in case if it is given, it is the wrong answer. Why? Because between the divisor and the remainder, there is one common difference, 10. That has to be subtracted from my LCM to arrive at the answer. 15120 minus 10. That will give me 15110, which will be the least number, which when divided by all these numbers leaves a remainder of this. Now if I go with the options given to me in the question, I could have solved this answer in AJF. Yes, why? Just see. You have what there? You have what type of numbers? 48, 60, 72, 108, dividing these. Yes. Now for 60 to divide any number, that number should also end with 0. Yes, because this number that my divisor is ending with a 0 here, that number which it is trying to divide must also end with a 0. So in the options, how many options do I have which are ending with a 0? There is only one option, that is B. I would have marked it right. Yes, we can do that. Coming to the next question that we have here, what does the question say? It says a sum of money is borrowed and paid back in 2 annual installments of rupees 882 each. So each installment here is how much? Installment is 882 rupees. Okay. Now 5% compound interest. CI is how much? 5% it is. Okay. The sum borrowed he is asking. The sum, how much was borrowed he is asking. Now in compound interest, how do we calculate total interest? That is total interest for 2 years. We'll use the formula x plus y plus xy by 100. If you do not know why I am using this formula, then you will have to go back and watch our basic videos on simple interest and compound interest. Yes, x plus y. That gives me how much? 5 plus 5. 5 plus 5 plus 5 into 5. 25 divided by 100. That gives me 10.25. 10.25% is the compound interest that he is going to pay for 2 years. 2 years. Yes. Now let's start. What is he asking? A sum of money is borrowed and paid back to 2 annual installments. He is paying back in 2 annual installments. Now if he was not paying it back, I would have simply calculated 10.25% of whatever the principal is, and I would have got the answer. Yes, basic question. But here the question is about EMI. What does EMI say? Equal monthly installment. So he is paying it away. How much he is paying? He is paying 882. Yes, this 10.25% is what? 10.25% is for total interest, that is 110.25 of principal he was paying as interest if he was not paying the installment in between. But he is paying some installment. So that installment's interest, whatever he paid, should I subtract from the whatever he was paying for the total principal? Yes. Now, so that will be how much? I'll have to subtract 5% of 882. Do you agree? Now, at the end of the first year, not only did he pay the interest of 5% for this installment, but he also paid the installment of 882. Yes. After that, how much was he remaining? He had to pay remaining 882 rupees. 882 rupees, because each installment is 882. Do you agree? Now I'll repeat it once again here. Now after the formula that we applied on compound interest, we got the total compound interest for 2 years has to be 10.25. This is when if he had to pay directly at the end of 2 years, yes, on the principal, he had to pay 110%. 100% of the principal plus 10.25% of the principal. That is 110.25% of the principal he had to pay. Now, but he is doing what? He is paying away one installment in between. So, on that installment, he is paying 5% interest, which I am supposed to deduct it from here. Not only that, he is also paying away the installment. Yes. Now, after that, he is paying how much at the end of the second year? He is paying 882 more. That will be equals to this. Yes. Clear here? Now, now we have some meager calculations. Now if I send this 882 onto the other side, I'll get how much? 8816, 888, 1764 I'll get. Yes, I'll get a 1764 here. Now 5% of 882, 10%. 5% is nothing but divided by 2. So I'll get how much here? 44.1. I'll get a 44.1. Minus, what do I have here? 10.25 of principal. I'll keep it the same. It is 110.25 of 25% of principal. Okay. Now 0.1 to the other side. What will I have? 110.25% of principal is equals to 1764 plus 44.1. 1808.1 I'll get. Yes. Now the principal will be equals to 1808.1 divided by 110.25. Percentage, I'll take it away, I'll write it as 100. Yes. Now this will give me, I have to take the decimals away. So this will give me 180810 divided by 110, okay, into 100. Now it will go with 25 4 times, okay, 25 4 times here, 102 left out, 4 times again, 1 time again. Yes. Now 441 is 21 square, 21, okay. This is 21, 8 times I'll reach to 168, so I'll have 12 here, 21 6 is 126, so I'll have 2 here, 1 and 0, then 210 was remaining, 1 and 0. Yes. Okay, 21 1 times, 21 fours is 84, I'll be remaining with 210, so I'll have a 1 and a 0 here. Yes. 410 into 4. 4 fours is 1600, 10 4 times is 40, I'll have a 1640 has to be the answer. Check with the options there, check with options. Option D is my right answer, that is 1640. We also have another method to solve this. It is a cheat code method. Here what is given to us? Given to us as 5% compound interest. Okay, 5% is nothing but what? 5% is nothing but 5 by 100, which is nothing but 1 by 20. Okay. Now, this 1 by 20, I'll write it as 20 plus 1. If I add these numerator and denominator, what will I get? 21. Divided by 20, I'll write it in the numerator. Into, I'll write 21 in the denominator as it is. And 20 plus 21 gives me 41. Into, whatever the installment is, will give me principal. Okay, principal. Any type of question you have. Now, if installment is given to us, then we can replace it here. If principal was given to us in a different type of question, you can use it there. Okay, let's go with the question that we have. 20 upon 21 into 41 divided by 21 into installment is 882. I have principal, I have to find out. Okay, now 21 once, okay, 22 4 times, and 21 2 times I'll get. Yes. Next 21 1 times, 21 2 times, I'll reach to 42. So what is that I have here? 20 into 41 into 2. So which is nothing but 40 into 41. 40 into 41 is again 1640. This is derived from the formula for compound interest that we used, but this is a faster way to solve it. But you should know what is going on, what is going on within it exactly. Because if you know the logic, you can solve any question. But if you know this, you can only solve similar type of questions. Okay. Even if it is 10% compound interest that is given to you, what will you do? You'll have to do the same thing. 10% is nothing but what? 1 by 10. You will have to keep the denominator. You have to add these and keep it in the denominator. That is 11. And again, 10 plus 1, 11 is there, 10 into, like the same way, 11 only will be in the denominator. Then add these 10 and 21 I'll have there, into installment is equals to principal. This method can be used limitedly. So you better have a good idea on this method and use this sparingly. So coming to the last question that we have here, what does it say? A completes 80% of the work in 20 days. I'll have A and B here. So this guy, A is completing 80% of work. 80% of work. 80% is nothing but what? 4 by 5. 4/5 of the work, A completes 80% of the work in 20 days. Okay, 20 days. Yes. Now, then B also joins and A and B finish together the remaining work in 3 days. Okay. Now, how long does it need for B alone to complete the work? B alone to complete the work. Okay. Now, what is given to us? A and B together finish it in 3 days. So, the remaining work, A and B were doing it in how many days? That is 20% of the work. They were doing it in how many days? 3 days. 20 is nothing but what? 20% is nothing but 1 by 5 of work which they took 3 days. Yes, which they took 3 days. Now, what will be one work? One work will be nothing but 25 days. To do one work they are taking 25 days. I simply multiplied it. Yes, 5 into 20 gives me 100 and divided by 4 gives me 25 days. Now, similarly, one work will be how much here? 15 days. A and B together working, they are be taking 15 days. Now, this problem is similar. After getting how much time A takes and A and B together take, this problem is similar as a basic problem. That is, what will we do? A, B, A plus B. A can do it in 25 days. B is unknown. That is what we have to find out. A plus B together can do it in 15 days. 15 days. Let's assume the work has to be a multiple of 25 and 15. That will be 75 units. 75 units. So, A is working at the rate of what? 3 units per day. When A and B together are working, so they will be working at the rate of what? 5 units per day. So, if A was working at 3 units and total A and B is 5 units, B was working at the rate of what? It must be 2 units per day. Yes, 3 plus 2 gives me 5. 2 units per day. If B is completing 2 units per day, total of 75 units you have. Okay. So, B is completing 2 units per day. So, what will be the time taken by B? Units cancel. Days goes up. 2 ones to 37.5. 37.5 days. Yes. Do we have it in the options? Yes. Option is 37 1 by 2, which is my option A and is the right answer. So, whenever such question appears that they are doing certain percentage of work, what is that you need to do? You need to calculate 1 day's work. How will you be able to do it? Yes. If 4/5 of the work he has given, 4/5 of the work is done in 20 days, one day work, how many days? X days. You can either cross multiply and get the answer. Now here also, 1/5 of the work, 3 days. One work, how many days? After that, it will be the same problem as we used to solve in the basic videos. Any question? Yes? Yes? Guys, if you liked our videos, do not forget to like and also subscribe and share. And do not forget to join our WhatsApp group where you will have a lot of discussions about the same. And if you have any doubts, you can reach out to us on WhatsApp or my personal social media platforms or our website, anywhere. Yes, we would love to hear it from you. Thank you so much, one and all.